Let's talk about personal branding. Like a corporate brand, your brand should tell people who you are, what you're all about, and what you have to offer. If you create a strong personal brand and proliferate it effectively, you can leverage your brand to create more of whatever you want in your life. On the flip side, if you choose to not be deliberate about your brand, you're basically just going to attract whatever people want to give you based on their perceptions of you or how they choose to brand you. That is not where you want to be. To attract more of what you want in your career, you have to take ownership of your personal brand. Well, now that I've told you that you need to have a personal brand, what is it? Every good personal brand contains three key components: who you are, what you're all about, and what you have to offer. Who you are is going to be things like your name and your picture, very simple things, but things that you want to be deliberate about and be creative with. What you're all about, if you think of things in the context of LinkedIn, that's going to be your title. And then what you have to offer is where you can elaborate a little bit more on the things that you're good at, your passions, and what you want to attract more of in your life. Make sure you stay very focused on who you really are and what you want to attract more of in your life, because that's what your entire brand should revolve around. Let me give you some good and bad examples of personal branding. I'm going to use LinkedIn for the context of this conversation, but your brand isn't just about LinkedIn. Your brand should be everywhere, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But most people have a LinkedIn profile, or at least know what LinkedIn is, so it's a good way to start the conversation. Let's start with a bad example. This is a fake profile of someone named Jane Doe. Well, the fact that she has her name in here is a good start, right? You want to make sure the name that you have in your profile is aligned to the name that you actually use professionally. Her title is Electrical Circuit Designer at Company A, which is a little bit limiting. Honestly, it's not as limiting as some of the other titles I've seen. I see a lot of engineer at Company A, which is extremely vague and doesn't tell anything to people about what you're all about, what you're passionate about, what you want to create more of in your life. The picture in this example is incredibly dark. It's not professional, it's not good quality, it doesn't do anything to show her personality. It's just not helping the brand. If anything, it's dragging her down. And then the summary is left completely blank, which is a huge missed opportunity to tell people what she's all about, what she's passionate about, what she likes to do, and what she wants to do more of with her career. While my LinkedIn profile may not be the best example in the world, I get to use it as an example because this is my vlog. And I think my personal brand is pretty strong. So what do we have going on here? Well, obviously we have my name, which is good. For a long time, I actually had the name Jennifer Miller on my profiles, which was not really aligned to the name I go by because nobody calls me Jennifer except for my mom when I'm in trouble. So I think one of the most important things I did when I was refining my personal brand was making sure that the name on these profiles is aligned to what I actually go by. My title is Career Coach, Diversity Champion, Engineer. I'm leading with what I'm all about, and it isn't a specific employer. I'm telling you guys what I do, what I'm passionate about, and what defines me, all right underneath my name, which is really important. The picture is not your standard mugshot. It's high quality and it's professional, but I think it does a good job of capturing my personality. I mean, it's warm, it's inviting, it looks positive, and that's a good way to tell people something about me without having to say it. A lot of people will tell you that pictures that you use on LinkedIn or just with your brand in general need to follow a certain set of rules or stipulations. And I don't agree with that. I think that as long as the picture is professional and good quality, you should use it as an opportunity to showcase your personality. My summary talks about what I want to create more of in my life. You want to make sure the first sentence of your summary really concisely tells people what you do. Mine says, I'm a career coach with a passion for empowering women to build successful, rewarding careers in technology. I go on to talk about my background after that and some of the other things that I like to do and want to attract more of in my life. But it's important that you get across the essence of what you really do and want to do more of in that first sentence, because people don't always have a lot of time to look at your brand or to look at these profiles. Now that we've talked about the essential components of a brand, let's talk about some do's and don'ts. Do be concise. Like I said before, people don't have a lot of time. Whether it's a recruiter that's looking at LinkedIn or someone that you're introducing yourself to at a networking event, you want to make sure that you have a brand that captures the essence of who you are, but is also short and concise so that you can get it across in 30 seconds to 1 minute. The other do is to be consistent. Whether people are looking at your LinkedIn profile or Twitter or your resume, or hearing you speak at a conference, whatever it is, your brand should be consistent. There shouldn't be any confusion about who you are, what you have to offer, and what you're all about. That should always be obvious no matter where people are looking. The main don't that I want to mention is do not let your current job or your current employer define your personal brand. Your brand is all about you, your passions, your talents, what you have to offer. That should not be dictated by your current job or your current company. Make sure you are owning your brand. If you'd like some help with your personal brand, please feel free to reach out to me at jenmiller.info. Otherwise, get out there and kick some butt.